Hello, everybody. Adam Bergman here, tax attorney and founder of IRA Financial. On today's video, breaking news. 2025 Biden proposed budget and its impact on IRAs, taxes, corporations, billionaires, the rich. I'm going to go through it all, but I'm going to really focus today's video on IRAs because that's what I specialize in, and that's what the core of my interests are. But a lot of interesting things in this budget. A lot of the features of the proposed 2025 Biden budget has its teeth in some past legislation like Build Back Better from 2021, the Inflation Reduction Act. So this is themes from the Biden administration of taxing the rich, getting rid of certain pro-business loopholes like kind exchanges for real estate, carried interest for private equity, making corporations pay higher taxes, higher income tax brackets going up. And you'll see the IRA provisions I'm going to get to in a minute really trace its roots back to the Build Back Better bill of 2021, which we all had nightmares about. Let me preface what I'm about to say with the fact that none of this is going to get passed. Okay, Biden tried in 2021. It didn't happen. But I feel it's fair to kind of talk about some of the proposals that President Biden wants to implement in 2025. Now, of course, he needs to get elected in order to get some of these proposals at least have the chance to have these proposals become law. So this is not a political video. I'm totally independent. There's some stuff that I like about President Biden. There's some stuff like his fascinations on limitations on IRA values, some of the other stuff like getting rid of carried interest, like kind exchanges that I'm not super thrilled about, but that's not really the point of the video. The video is really just documenting some of the features of the budget, and then it's up to you as American voters to decide what you want to do. That's not my call. I only had one vote. So let's go through the budget in a little bit of detail. And I'll start with the IRA provisions, then we'll move along to the non-IRA related provisions that I think are worth discussing. So Biden brings back the cap on IRAs and 401ks to $10 million. It's not just Roth, it's all IRAs or 401k plans. He's going to limit them to $10 million. And this is the same theme, same type of thinking from the Build Back Better bill. None of this passed. Okay, and I'm just going to mention that again. This is not going to pass, but gives you an idea where he's going. Basically, once you go over that amount, you're going to have to take a distribution. If it's pre-tax, you pay tax on it. If it's Roth, you wouldn't. But he's going to cap IRAs and 401ks at $10 million. He's going to get rid of Roth conversions for high income earners. So if you make more than 450,000 joint filers, you're not going to be able to do any more Roth conversions. We saw this in the Build Back Better. Makes no sense because Roth conversions make money for the IRS, so it's a money loser. Doesn't really make any sense. But for some reason, Biden and his administration feel that only rich people somehow figured out a way to cheat on conversions, and only rich people can predict the future and know if their income and their investments are going to go up in the future. Don't know how, but he's going to eliminate Roth conversions. Makes no sense, as I mentioned, because it's going to actually cost Treasury tax revenue. He also wants to eliminate backdoor Roth contributions. Right, in 2024, if you make more than 240,000, married, filed jointly, or single, make more than 161K, you cannot do a Roth IRA. But based off the backdoor Roth IRA rules, you can circumvent those limitations and do an after-tax IRA and then simply convert it to Roth. And that's called the backdoor Roth IRA. And the budget and President Biden wants to eliminate those for high income earners. Those are income earners, married, filed jointly, make more than 240. Not make more than 450, make more than 240. So he's kind of reducing that threshold where he thinks everyone that makes more than 450 is rich. For this provision, if you make more than 240, you're rich. So we'll see how that works. He also, if you pass away, he's going to treat the beneficiaries as disqualified people. Right now, there's some uncertainty. So let's say you have a cousin as a beneficiary of your IRA. Are they disqualified? Clearly, because they're trying to provide clarity on it, I think it's a difficult position now to argue that that person is a disqualified person. Obviously, if you're leaving money to your spouse or a child, they're disqualified by default. But what happens if you're leaving it to a brother, sister, aunt, uncle, cousin? They're not typically disqualified people on its face or on their face. So by having them as a beneficiary, do they become disqualified? Current law seemingly say no. Why, if they felt strongly about it, I guess they wouldn't need to include that provision in the budget, but they want to treat those folks now as disqualified people. They also want to get rid of the ability of IRAs to own FISCs and DISCs. Those are foreign sales company and domestic sales companies. Not a big deal. I don't know anyone that's ever done that. And then they want to extend the statute of limitation for IRAs from 3 to 6 years because they just don't feel they have enough time to catch people, which I guess is a good thing for all of us, but they want to increase it to 6 years. They want to bring back also the IRS budget from the Inflation Reduction Act to $80 billion. In fact, this proposal would provide a total of $104 billion to sustain improvements across different areas of the IRS. So they'd actually increase the amount from the 80 billion to 104 billion for the IRS, which would be even higher than the Inflation Reduction Act. So those are the core IRA provisions. Again, this traces back to the Build Back Better bill, not a big shock. I'm surprised that he's trying to put them in the budget. We saw this last year too. He knows they're not going to ever be law, but I think he's trying to show his base that, hey, I got you progressives. I'm going after the rich and the billionaires, and don't worry, I'm not forgetting about you. We'll see if that works. It worked last election. We'll see if it works this time. Here's some other interesting provisions that I wanted to mention. He's going to require billionaires to pay at least 25% income tax. I don't know. I don't know that many billionaires, so I can't really comment on that. But I don't know. I guess most billionaires probably wouldn't care. They want to raise. He also wants to raise the rate for large corporations. He wants to set the corporate tax rate at 28%, which is higher than it is now, 21%, but lower than 35%. And he wants to sign into law where biggest corporations will also pay more tax. He wants to, what else is interesting? He wants to end capital income tax breaks for the very wealthy. So if you have more than $1 million, you will pay the same top tax rate of 39.6% on capital gains, not the 23.6, include the Obamacare. So that's going to be drastic, and that will be super controversial. I can't see that passing. He wants to, as I mentioned, increase the IRS budget or bring it back to the Inflation Reduction Act of 80 billion and actually bring that up to around 104 billion. He also wants to take away the carried interest loophole, which now taxes carried interest at capital gains. He wants to tax that at ordinary income. He wants to get rid of like-kind exchanges for real estate. Can't see that passing. That's going to be super controversial. He also wants to include a wash sale rule for cryptos. Right now, you can buy and sell cryptos at a loss and then rebuy the crypto a minute later or a day later. With equities, you have to wait 30 days. So he wants to bring that in and include cryptos. And then there's some other stuff about gun violence and border control. But again, I just wanted to focus on the financial ones. And those are the biggies, right? He wants to increase the taxes for the wealthy. He wants to make billionaires pay minimum taxes, increase corporate tax rate, get rid of capital gains tax break of the wealthy, get rid of like-kind exchanges of real estate, get rid of carried interest, which will hurt investment managers. And then, obviously limit IRAs to 10 million bucks, get rid of backdoor Roth IRAs and Roth conversions for folks that make more than 450. Those are the big ones. And again, I don't see any of this getting passed. He's tried this in the past, but you're a voter, you have the opportunity to make a decision, cast your ballot in November. And I think this is something to be aware of, right? He's basically foreshadowing what he wants to do if he was able to control Congress and the Senate. This is the kind of stuff he'd want to do. And you can think it's great or you can hate it. It's not my decision. I get one vote. I know what I'm going to do. But it's up to all of you to at least have the facts, right? It's always interesting, in election time that, American, governmental foreign services think that we're stupid, that, Russia or foreign countries can just spend a lot of money on Facebook and they're going to change our vote. And I don't believe that. I think we're all smart enough. I think every American who votes takes the vote very seriously and generally doesn't make up their mind until weeks before the election. So I don't think we just get blindsided by a couple YouTube videos or Facebook ads or Instagram ads and say, oh my God, I'm going to vote for this guy or that guy. I think we're smarter and more deliberate and careful. So that's what I'm here to do, is provide you all the info. This is from the budget. You probably don't have enough time to go through it. I did it, especially the IRA provisions. I'm sure if you did go through it or you read some type of X article or news article on it, probably didn't mention IRAs. So that's what I want to focus on, since that's what you're probably watching me for, is to give you updated info on retirement accounts. So I'm not in favor of any of the IRA related provisions. There's nothing I like. I guess I can live with the statute of limitation, but just because clients I work with don't do anything wrong, they know the rules, they have nothing to hide. I guess I can live with the fisks and discs, since I don't know anyone that's using their IRA to invest in foreign sales corporations. So it's not really a big issue. Obviously, I'm concerned with the 10 million cap. Why are we penalizing Americans for doing well, making good investments? Just because you're successful doesn't mean you're a bad person or a cheat. So I kind of think that's un-American. Roth conversion is stupid, makes no sense. It's just going to actually hurt Treasury in terms of taking away premature tax revenue, which they need. And then ultimately, backdoor Roth IRAs. I mean, if someone makes 240 grand, married, filed jointly, are we not worried that they're able to put in another $7,000 or $8,000 in a Roth IRA? But do we really care? What are we doing here? It's not like they're getting a tax deduction, right? So it's not hurting Treasury. And if you're so rich, then the $8,000, $7,000 is not going to matter anyway. So I just don't get it. I think a lot of this is just kind of playing to his progressive portion of his party, trying to placate them and appease them. And you can like it or not, but some of these provisions, especially on the IRA side, I just don't see the merit of them. On the other stuff, you want to tax billionaires more, whatever. I don't care. If I'm a billionaire, I'll happily pay 25% tax. But again, the like-kind exchange stuff's not going to fly. Getting rid of capital gains tax for people who make over $1 million. That means, let's say you sell your business, right? And you have $1 million of income. Is there an exclusion for capital gains? Or is that $1 million now you sell your your liquor store for $1.5 million? Are you now paying 39.6% capital gains tax because you have over $1 million of income? We'll see how that works. But it's provisions like that I just don't get. I think they sound and speak louder than they have value, but we'll see. Don't see any of this passing, so I'm not worried at all about him. But again, as voters, you should know what the president, if he does get reelected, wants to do in 2025. He can't do it now, but if he wins and he's able to control the House and Senate, we may be back to 2021 where we're dealing with more of these types of provisions. I'll hold my my opinion on that. But again, you're smart enough and you can decide for yourself. So that's it. That's today's video. Short and sweet. Just wanted to go through the proposed budget for 2025 and give you the input and information so you could make a more informed decision when you have to vote. And everyone should vote, no matter who you vote for. Everyone should vote. It's an important right. I was born in a different country. I was born in Canada. The voting rates in Canada are super high. They're like almost 85%. In Australia, they're like almost 100%. They actually will fine you if you don't vote. The voting rates here are super low. It's unfortunate. I think it's a great right to vote. I vote in local elections, state, federal. I look forward to voting. It's an honor, privilege. So no matter who you vote for, you should get out there and vote. Whether you want to vote for me or whoever's running, you should take that seriously and do your homework and decide who you want to vote for based off the platform, the merits, and understanding what President Biden's budget is important because he's telling you what he's going to do if he's elected. So whether you love it, you like it, you don't like it, you hate it, it's up to you. But now you know. So thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video and have a great rest of your day. Thanks.